Be the chief. Purpose. The good chief says, come work for me and I'll take care of you. The great chief says, remember, I work for you, shipmate. Every successful chief is rooted in purpose. Why? Most realize a chief's unique and special role. There is no equivalent to a U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer anywhere else in our Navy, our military, or the world. Therefore, our purpose should readily manifest because that alone is pretty cool. Mind you, that is not a Kool-Aid statement, that is a fact. And if you rolled your eyes at it, then you're not ready for anything else these pages have to offer. And, by the way, I don't understand why drinking the Kool-Aid has a negative connotation to it. Kool-Aid is absolutely delicious. And I much prefer leading in a Navy that has Kool-Aid available than to be in some other country's poverty-ass, no Kool-Aid having Navy. Your purpose is why you get out of bed every day. It is why you enlisted. It is your value and your rationale for doing everything you do. No one carries more purpose than the august Navy chief. Is it the anchor we wear? Maybe. But I will tell you, when a sailor looks up the chain of command, not too many of them are deriving any motivation from an unremarkable set of bars on the collar. An example of purpose that really struck me was from the 1918 Blue Jackets Manual. It focused on the duties and responsibilities of the Chief Petty Officer. My favorite piece is, quote, do your work from a sense of duty. Be thorough in all you do and require of your subordinates thoroughness and military exactitude. The sense of duty is a feeling that impels you to do these things, not because you have to do them, but because it is your duty to do them. End quote. That right there is some high quality Kool-Aid. Many underperforming, undermotivated, but otherwise passionate chiefs can turn themselves right around if they only rediscovered their purpose. And no, passion and purpose are not the same. Passion is skin deep. Purpose is in your soul. These are two very different words, but often confused. Passion can be seen or heard, often loudly and tactlessly, while purpose is felt. Example, a passionate person might say, I really love my job so much. I don't want to get promoted and have to deal with all those other aspects because I am just so passionate about my job. A passionate person might also be prone to get up on a soapbox on the regular. They might receive feedback like, oh, don't mind Chief Jacobs. He curses a lot, but it's just because he's so passionate. Does that sound problematic? It can be. Do you want to be known as a high and right, knee-jerk, and passionate chief who uses colorful language and flies off the handle and in turn may fail to make critical points? Do you ever hear a person who says, but I digress, a lot? That is a person who fails to make their points, usually because passion is in their way. Do you enjoy frequently apologizing for losing your shit? Well, folks who are disproportionately passionate tend to make a habit of that. I'm not telling you showing passion in life is a negative. It's far from it. But when leadership is involved, letting people feel your purpose is going to unlock a lot more for you than your passion will. People who have a healthy sense of purpose don't need to raise their voice, jump into arguments, or even justify their actions. Their actions speak for themselves. It looks like this. Hey, Chief, I feel bad you had to spend so much of your weekend here helping with that contingency. You should really take a few days off. You know what, sir? When stuff like this happens and our people are in a spot halfway across the world, the chiefs take care of it. This is what separates us from literally any other organization. It's my pleasure to have helped. That's purpose. And why do we default to those decisions? Because of the people who did it before us. Any decision you make should be easily explained by your subordinates as emanating from your purpose. This is the best quality a chief has, and it can be the easiest thing for you to learn from if you allow it. The intangibles a chief brings, founded in purpose, are unique to you. And they are extra valuable when you face all of those infamous duties you were told about that don't appear in print. What does this look like? I will share with you the greatest contributor to my sense of purpose I've received since I put on this uniform. It's a line from one of my favorite mentors that he put in my charge book. Quote, "The chief is entrusted with the nation's youth." End quote. Think about this. No, really think about this. Think about who you are charged to lead. Everyone from everywhere. Kids who have never tied a tie or lived on their own. Folks from broken homes and folks from no homes. We are tasked to lead and mold people who are searching for their lives. This is purpose, and we as chiefs are chartered and honored to do this. The greatest detractor from purpose is ego. But thankfully, nothing squashes one's ego quicker than the day the chief realizes who they actually work for. The chief works for the sailors. I'm going to pause here to give the new chief some time to catch up. But absolutely, yes, we do. Now, do we report to our sailors? Absolutely not. That is completely different. But we absolutely work for them, and they should see us that way. The chief is the leader, the coach, and the advocate for the sailor. And when challenges and barriers come into play, it's the chief breaking them down. New chiefs, I am telling you, keep a log of all the work you do during your day, and then try to tell us that at least 90% of the items you're working for aren't for your sailors. To be successful working for the nation's most valuable commodity, chiefs must draw from their purpose. And on that note, have you ever wondered why the rank of CPO is so special? Have you considered why this is the only advancement that requires an initiation process complete with a full character makeover? The answer is simple, and it is a critical narrative you must apply if you're to be successful in the Chief's mess. To be in it, you must be about it. To be in it, you must be about it. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to be a successful member of the Chief's mess, carrying on the legacy and making a difference every day for the Navy and our sailors if you were to operate half in or half out of the mess. If you operate every day 100% in and your ways exude the values and expectations of a chief, then you are the most positive form of contagious there can be. When a force of chiefs operates together and under a vision, they absolutely dominate. To be in it, you must be about it is not some cheap way of excusing the cringe mantra of what happens in the Chief's mess stays in the Chief's mess. To be about it means you are comfortable handling everything inconvenient and humbling that comes from doing the right things for our people and the Navy above yourself. It means every day when you depart the Chief's mess, you return with honor. And if you struggle with this, take yourself back to pinning day. It didn't compare to when you put on first class, did it? The rank of chief is unlike any other promotion. You don't put on chief. You don't pick up chief. You must physically and mentally become chief. And that comes with purpose. This transition affects all areas of your life, and with it, we're brought back to that choice. Are you a chief who wants to be somebody, or do you want to do something? If you understand anything we've discussed about purpose, and you understand that every day we are closer to a real war, then you understand we need people who want to do some things. A good chief shows their passion. The great chief uses their purpose to make a difference. Improve the Navy and everything around you every day. Return every person you meet better than when you found them. Think about all the leaders you've ever admired during your career. I guarantee there were at least a few of them who had intangibles about them that you gravitated to. They had an energy or an ism about them that drew you closer. And when they mentored you, you listened. When they made high-profile decisions, everyone said, of course they did. They had a way about them where everything just made sense. To me, this is purpose, and this is what all chiefs should strive toward. Embrace this, be about it, and you will go far as you want in this career. 2 great books you can read about purpose. One of them is Legacy by James Kerr, Another one is Start With Why by Simone Sinek. Side note, the Stoics. Where do so many ideas shared by leadership authors and organizations like the Chief's Mess come from? Well, I found some influence from the Stoics. In particular, the ideas Marcus Aurelius and Seneca were putting out centuries ago are still very much alive and mainstream today. Check this out, quote, like a vine that produces grapes and seeks for nothing more after it has produced proper fruit, so a man when he does a good act does not call for others to come and see, but goes on to another act, as a vine goes to make more grapes, end quote. This is the daily purpose of a chief, is it not? To grow and develop all around them and to seek no credit for their work. Chiefs are wine, my friends, we are wine. Quote, if a thing is difficult to be accomplished by thyself, do not think that it is impossible for man. But if anything is impossible for man and comfortable to his nature, think that this can be attained by thyself too. End quote. This is the power of the network of the Chief's Mess, is it not? When you're locked into a network of leaders conditioned to get out there and do some things, we are going to find a way. Quote, what can take place without change? Canst thou take a bath unless the wood undergoes a change to become heat? And canst thou be nourished unless the food undergoes a change? And can anything else that be useful be accomplished without change? End quote. Sailors hate two things: the way things are and change. Fun fact, did you know the Navy used to sail ships using actual sails? I'll take that change all day, any day. Finally, quote, a man's true greatness lies in an honest purpose in life, founded on a just estimate of himself and everything else, on frequent self-examination and a steady obedience to the rule which he knows to be right, without troubling himself about what others may think or say, end quote. This is the backbone of laying the keel in CPO initiation. It is self-awareness. It is the core of everything we do. And if you are not out there identifying areas for your own self-improvement, then what exactly is it you are doing for your people?